It's another episode of the Blathering Live. I'm Cat Napzok. We are live, but maybe you're watching later. If you are, drop a comment. If you're listening later, let me know on Blue Sky or Instagram that you listen to the podcast feed. We want to know that we're hitting all the nails with the hammers, that we're scratching all the backs. I don't know. Mostly sports tonight. I'll just say that. Okay, if you're not a sports fan, hey. We're going to talk a lot of baseball, some football, some streaming rights, a lot of politics to talk about, all those kind of things. But tonight, let's talk a little sports. This is also Advice Monday. We'll get an update from Wiley Todd. Also, Mrs. Producer Steve, name withheld, has an advice question that is something I've thought about before. I think I over-apologize for the sports, Michael McCarcel, because of the big switch I did 10 years ago where I kind of pulled out of regular sports viewing and discussion, got heavy into the nerd world, all that kind of stuff, and I overcorrected for good reasons. The sports world had lost me, but now I'm swinging back. And then even I started to feel I was overcorrecting and not engaging with the nerd world as much. Now I'm trying to find a nice warm middle, but I think I end up apologizing for talking about sports. Serenity Jane says, how dare you talk sports? A lot going on out in the world. We never want to ignore it. I don't want to, you guys are very generous always with super chats. 898-4M. I appreciate you. I don't mean to embarrass Tully. But Tully, you put a post out on Blue Sky today that I want to call attention to. As you all know, SNAP benefits are like either gone or they're halfway. But they're going to be delayed and not as much. That's people's food, and we have people in our own lives that use some of these benefits. So Tully on Blue Sky, Tully on Dead, I can drop it in here if you're comfortable with Tully. Might need some help because some of his benefits, Tully's benefits that they survive with, are in danger. And you guys are always so generous with me, but I would love for you to be also a little generous tonight with a friend who might need to put some food on the table. So I'll find that there and keep the lights on. Thank you, Brady. Because we want to make sure we help everyone here. And I think it's easy to look at the big issues. I think it's easy to yell and scream about it. But it's also when it hits home, I think that's a good reminder of what we're actually dealing with here. What we're actually, I'm going to try to drop this in here. We actually got at stake, which is people in our own lives that are affected. I'm going to drop this, paste, and see if this works. Check that out. If that link doesn't work, just go to Tully Undead. He's got a link up for a little Cash App or Venmo help, and Tully's good for it. But I saw that today, Tully, and I wish I won the lottery. And Facebook, it was a little, Facebook doesn't want to help. Everything else, I think so. So if that link doesn't work and take you to Blue Sky for Tully's page, just follow the link, Tully Undead, and help a friend out, okay? That's what we're doing here. That's what the show's about. I always say this is a community-based show. And look, I've been extra grumpy lately. Let's bring in producer Steve. I've been extra grumpy lately. Sometimes you got to get in on the joke. I'm having some fun. Steve, I don't hate things as much as I sometimes want to ramp up for entertainment purposes, but I have been grumpy, and I want to apologize, Steve, to everybody.
Oh, well, I'll apology accepted on behalf of everybody. I don't think you're too grumpy. I love the way you described the show earlier, that it's today's the show, but with a nice, juicy, warm sports center. It's kind of the sports space center. Don't want to get any legal stuff things going here.
Yes. Sports _center there. Do better, Cat, says Michael. Tully says if that link doesn't work and drop the Discord information. Yeah, help a friend out. Because we got this. It's a weird time to talk a little politics there, Steve. I overheard someone talking about actually kind of a well-known comic talking about the Comedy Store, and I agree with him that this government shutdown, which is this it's sometimes a high stakes game of chicken, but he was just like, look, healthcare benefits for a lot of folks is a line I want to draw in the sands, but that's going to get spun by Republicans into it's your shutdown. Sean Duffy, the real world road rules transportation secretary, threatening to shut down ground all flights before Thanksgiving, Steve, because of the Democratic shutdown. And we know it's bullshit, but also, even when you draw lines in the sand, the hard part of drawing lines in the sand is it can lead to some people being hurt, which is part of the battle. So we want to help those that need help.
Absolutely. And this is Sean Duffy is not going to have to do anything, because at the rate that air traffic controllers are showing up for work, we're not going to be flying by Christmas anyway. Right. So I low key am not thrilled about getting in an airplane for the foreseeable future for that very reason, because if you re up on the ATC problem, it's bad. It's real bad. And if those, ask Reagan, well, you can't, but if those people don't go to work,
all done.
Things happen. Everything comes.
Hey, can you hear me over the flames? I got a question for you, Ronnie. When you busted unions and fired 11,000 air traffic controllers.
So, and we don't have the military backdrop to go and just fish a whole bunch of dudes that could like have military experience in ATC and plug them in kind of thing, which is, I guess, is part of how we mitigated that the first time. I wasn't around. But I don't remember. But yeah, that's like a real thing. So they got to get their shit together, but they're not. They're dragging their sweet time.
Michael McCarcel says, my mom and her wife flew to DC on Saturday to visit my little sister for the weekend, and are flying back this weekend. I'm so terrified. We have a friend. I won't bring him into the conversation without his permission, but his name sounds like Dalden Ayaz, and he was traveling this weekend, and I think he lived 24 hours in an airport. His flight delayed, and he texted me. He goes, I had to pull a Tom Hanks and live in this airport. But he'll tell the whole story at Entertime this weekend, but bonds were formed. We all got through it there. There you go. Tully says, essentially, yes, SNAP is stopped. Trump was ordered to fund it, but he's dragging any compliance. And that's part of the thing there too. And again, it's an issue on the news, right? SNAP, but that's people's food. That's their ability to survive.
Yep. And we don't have to get into the weeds of all the this, that, and the other things, but I don't like when misinformation is the main talking point on a lot of these things, like how people are getting, whatever. You can say whatever excuse you want to blame for the Democrats for the shutdown. Ask whatever party is in control of all three phases of government at the moment. But even two things. The fact that it's called SNAP and most people know what SNAP is. The fact that it's not just saying people's food benefits are being taken away. Language is a big part of this thing. That's part of how they play into all this kind of stuff. This was already paid for. The money's there. The second money is just sitting there to be used on this. It's not like Mike Johnson is like looking around the Senate, or the congressional offices, like looking for sacks of money in a burlap bag. Right. Like, where's the food stamp money? That isn't the issue. And the other thing is I thought it was really interesting that Trump and the administration has now started tipping to the other point where Congress doesn't want to go of, hey, it's time to break the filibuster and end this thing and get it over with and end the shutdown. And Mike Johnson comes out and says, well, if we do that, then we're going to have free health care and gun restrictions, and Puerto Rico and DC are going to be states, and all these horrible, terrible things that everyone is asking for. That's cracks are forming sooner than I thought. But I mean, right around now when everything is drying up, is not unexpected.
Yeah, and Mike, the supercuts of Mike Johnson being like, I've never heard of that. No, are comical, but they're real. Michael Gustafson saying, I work at a grocery store, it was dead, which is never the case at the beginning of the month. That's payday, essentially. It's very impoverished. It's a very impoverished community. Some people rely on SNAP to feed families, and that's the thing. And final thought for me on it here too. I was having a conversation with someone a while ago, about the tough times, and they acknowledged that there's tough times, even though they voted on the opposite side of me. But they were just like, "Well, we got through it before the Great Depression." I was like, but we're like taking a frying pan and hitting ourselves in the head and going, "Wow, that sucks." Like, we don't have to do a lot of this. This is what you talk about with the money, or even just on a smaller, less important scale. My local public radio station I listen to. Like they're close to going under. They're trying to survive, and they're like the money was there. Like it wasn't like we were, not the way they agree with it, but if you were to say future money's cut up, but the money that was already there was taken back to just prove some sort of Doge point. That's what's frustrating.
Yeah, a lot of it's frustrating, Ken, and I feel for those people who are especially directly impacted. If you're able to, now is a great opportunity and chance to reach out to local food banks or organizations like that you're able to contribute to if you're in a position to be able to do that, because people need it. And I know those are, there's a lot of programs, at least where I live, where there's a lot of talk around that. But that shouldn't be, again, this is all problems that shouldn't be having to happen. But here we are. But I heard Trump had a really good party over the weekend. So,
great party. Great party. Let the meat cake party, as Cake Sport Gal said. The Great Gatsby party, as Eddie said, and others have said as well. The press, yeah. So dark times, but while we struggle with this, and this Democrats ain't perfect. I can give all those caveats, all those things. We're going to put that on the shelf and just make sure we come together as a community, not only to entertain ourselves here, but when some folks are not like you all have helped me. Your continued support of this channel, super chats. They literally do keep my lights on. They literally do put food on the table as I struggle forward. But we have others here who are even less fortunate. Or not even less fortunate, just are in certain circumstances, and the help isn't as ready. So a listener like Tully or others here, and if you have any need out there and you want to get the word out, just reach out to me if you're not comfortable doing it here, and we can get the word out to our community here as well. We are small, but we are mighty and connected, and you truly all make the show, literally. We do have, it's Advice Monday. We're going to get an update from Wiley Todd. I love this ongoing story, but we got a question from you here in a second. So let's take Wiley. Let's do this call here as I do the old thing where I scroll to find the one thing where, is this the one? 2-shot calls. There it is. God bless me.
I believe in you. There you go. You got this. I don't have my fancy little call graphic at the moment. I'm still
little tragedy. Wiley's on the line, but before we get to Wiley, what happened? Your computers rose up and fought you, and
yes,
you're the problem. What is it?
The computers rebelled, and the computers won, Ken. So yeah, I had catastrophic technology failure over the weekend. So a lot of my little bells and whistles for stream are currently non-existent. So we are working on getting them up and running, and things should be back to normal by the end of the week.
Back in the days where the Napzok Files days, where I do interviews and more people used to like listening to my show, I would ask this question when my guest would get to like a key part in their life, whether it was a victory or a loss. I'd be like, take me to that moment. What did it feel like, Steve? I feel like I want to do that with you. Take me to the moment when your computer made some sound and smoke came out and you realized all your work was gone. Take me to that painful moment.
Yeah. So fortunately, this time I've actually had that happen when there was smoke, but it wasn't this time. This time I was trying to do some maintenance and it was something failed. I effed something up. So there was just a whole litany of issues. But first was sweat and panic because my hard drive, I have an old physical hard drive that's like massive, like terabytes big, that just has like all the family photos and all the pictures and baby pictures and pictures that are of people who are not around anymore and stuff like that. And I thought that was the one that failed initially, and thinking that was the one that blew up. And I was like, I'm gonna be living not only on the couch but alone probably for the rest of my life. So I was looking at that and then realized, okay, no, that was actually the only drive that wasn't broken. Literally everything else, all of my work stuff, all of my games, all of my stream stuff, all of that stuff gone poof. So luckily, anything of consequence, like work and everything, I have shit back up to the cloud and all that jazz. So I'm good there. But it was just all my hobby stuff. All of my hobby stuff and my computer and everything is a big part of my hobby life, Ken. All gone, starting fresh. So
including stuff here tonight. So anyways, I feel I use Pixlr. I don't use Photoshop. I can't afford it. Let me eat cake. So I use Pixlr, and it has like all your files, and it's just it's all your thumbnails. It's just my thumbnails.
Right.
Every once in a while on my MacBook, it's just for no reason, about every 7 or 8 days, it just clears it out. It does it on my laptop, And so I do have the file saved, but every time that happens, I just my head hangs, and I just kind of whimper to myself. So Steve, I can only imagine that's like a program which all I have to do is just download the files again. When I read, and I didn't read it till like earlier today, I was like, I can't. Do we need to pick Steve up off the ground? Is he broken?
It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
It's
Speaking of picking people up off the ground, Wiley Todd's here. He needs no help being picked up off the ground. How you doing, Wiley?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry about your PC, Steve. That's the worst.
It's okay. Like I said, glass half full. It's really fast now, which is the good news because there's not a whole bunch of shit on it. So
that's positive. Kind of like when I barf after too many donuts. Wiley, this is Advice Monday, but this all began with you. You created this Advice Monday by having some earnest questions about how to get the attention of someone that you might, be attracted to, and it's been an ongoing journey. Do we have any update on what's been happening?
Sadly, we don't. It's still the waiting game. I've decided to fully push on, go with the friend situation, and
good.
No opportunity has shown up for that to happen yet. But I come in asking another question because I was watching your mailbag that you posted today. About kind of finding like self-confidence in a way that you were explaining in that video and stuff like that. And something I've been working a lot in therapy is like being okay with my situation or being easier on myself. And a current problem is the wrong word, but current thing I've been dealing with recently is I've had 2 family losses in my life in the past couple months, back to back. Sorry. And I have a small family, so when you lose a person, it basically just gets smaller and smaller. And even with those people, I'm not super close with. And so the grief has been weird for me. But like I think everyone here, we are creative people and work in the creative space to some extent. I find it hard to be creating. Now with everything going on, even though my mixed emotions and stuff like that, and kind of because I think we all deal with self-motivation is kind of how we get through things. So within loss, you kind of lose that self-motivation and kind of feel the loss of inspiration for creation. So I kind of wanted to ask this question. I thought it would be kind of nice because you we're talking sort of something like that with your mailbag this morning.
Yeah, the self-love, right? Talking about the Monday morning show, self-love. Yeah. Well, in terms of dealing with loss and does it pour into your art, I guess that's a case-by-case or a person-by-person basis. I think it's important to take some time, not rush back if you want. I always give the example because this is kind of me. Paul McCartney is known for John Lennon is assassinated. I'm going to go into the studio. Linda McCartney dies, his wife. I'm going to go in the studio. And some people find that off-putting because it's almost done with a steely, cold, assassins-like, composure that is not for everyone, but that's for him. So I'm a little bit like that, but also I think it's important to, like you said, be kind to yourself. And not feel the need to rush back. I mean, come on. Sometimes I take Saturday shows off here because I'm tired. So that's where I'd start with that. I don't know how that leads to self-love. I'm still trying to unravel what self-love truly is. Steve, don't you make some inappropriate comment. Does that make any sense, Wiley?
Yeah, it does, because I really struggle with the self-love and kind of what you were explaining in today's show, and kind of just like really hard on me in every situation. We were talking about the driving thing last week, and that's something I constantly beat myself up with because of like, oh, I'm not like everyone else. I can't drive with such an ease. And I'm always working on it and always trying to do it. And a small win of like going to a place I've never driven before, and then instantly beating myself up about that I'm not be able to do this other thing. So there is no like celebration. It's always down to the negative. Do you find yourself in that place?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I've been open and shared some of my big struggles in stand-up comedy, and also shared some of my victories. And that's why I've had a lot more fun posting clips. I'm also getting access to clips thanks to Joe over at Floppers and the crew there. So I'm like, oh, I'll share this stuff. But so if I share a victory of, hey, it's a great set, or I like this set, by the time I get in my car, I'm like, well, why the fuck did you not do that in 2003? Like, that's great you're doing it now, dipshit. Why didn't you come into your own in 2003 and 4, where you could have been in that class of comics and you could figure it out? And so every victory is sometimes undercut by that voice just screaming at me, too late. Thanks a pad load, Chet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But yeah, it's nice to hear, and I'm glad you're speaking on that topic, because I think a lot of people don't talk about that. As someone that's dealt with it my whole life, to hear someone else have the same struggle is actually really refreshing, because you hear all these stories, and stories are shown. We watch movies, shows and stuff like that. It never gets shown in that medium, so it feels incredibly isolating in that way. So
no, I think that's always been my drive, is to I'm doing it right now. One of my things that I think I'm good at doing is taking what's inside of me and putting it out there, and hopefully having it connect with some people out there. If I'm going through it, maybe we can go through it together. Maybe I can help you. Maybe there's been times you guys here in this show, comments on some of those Blathering mailbags that have been like very insightful, and this is good. But then I get mad at myself of like, but why couldn't I just be one of those comics that's outward and comments on the world and doesn't have to put my experiences into every thought because it's egocentric. Like, so yeah, it's so present, Wiley, and I'm trying to untangle it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate everything you do. And I'm just very grateful. I hope you guys have a great week.
We will. We'll look forward to the big update on that social outing actually happening.
Yes, hopefully there's an update next week. I'm praying that there's something that happens next week.
Love it. Thanks, Wiley.
All right, bye.
Wiley Todd checking in there. Says Addie says, look, you want to talk about self-loathing. I got my PhD, was barely proud of it because I just done the thing I was supposed to do. I get that. I set a goal and I did it. Big whoop. When the goal is in itself is super aspirational and impressive, right? So when Addie calls in, we'll make sure she understands that we think she's a genius.
Well, I mean, amongst us, that's not saying much, but you're absolutely right.
Don't undercut it. Yeah, Addie, you're a genius. You are in a bar full of idiots. All right, so Steve, I love this question that your wife asked, and we're keeping your wife's identity somewhat secret here, but you're not some. When I said it up top, I was like, I don't want people to think that Steve's like, she's Mrs. Steve. Do you like? Try to keep it going. But
no, it is all.
You passed along this question, and I was like, I have had this issue, so ask away.
Yes, please. So she we were talking about Silly Saturday show, and she's like, look, I have a question. I think that would be a great question that you should ask Ken. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. She says, so we have several of these, right? We have several pint glasses and other knickknacks that we have collected from the time throughout our 20s of going to friends and families' weddings, right? Mm-hmm. Like when all of our peers were getting married and all that kind of stuff, and cousins and all that kind of shit. So there was just a run from like 25 to 32 where I just felt like we went to like a million weddings, right?
Sure.
And so we have a lot of pint glasses, we have a lot of bottle openers, we have a lot of koozies, things like that people gave out as party gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled out a pint glass, or she pulled out a pint glass last week, and it was a pint glass of a couple of that is no longer together. They were married back in 2017, 2018, and they are no longer together. And so we were like, she's like, is this bad luck? Is this walking under a ladder? Like, is it bad luck to drink out of this pint? Like, I'm not gonna just get rid of it. It's a perfectly good pint glass, a nice pint glass. Like, what do I care, right? Like, I don't even look at what glass I'm drinking out of half the time when I pull something out of the cabinet. So what do you do here?
Yeah, this is fantastic, because I want to set the groundwork of like, I don't necessarily, this isn't a science versus spirit conversation, but like, nah, there's no bad luck. You're not going to ruin a marriage because you kept it or not kept it. Like, but at the same time, as a sports fan, specifically a baseball fan, like, it carries over. I have the same spot that I park in when I go do a stand-up show. I have the same door I enter. I have the, we all, I don't want to say fall prey to it, but it's all there, right? Because it's routine and it's comfort. You could probably science down that, or any way you want to look at it. But I have, Steve, I don't think I have any pint glasses or anything like that left. But for the longest time, I had bubbles. I had a little thing of bubble solution that I got at a wedding. And the marriage did not last long. And it was someone who is of fame. And I was at the wedding back in the day. And I was just like, but I held on to it because like the wedding was a positive memory for me. And I remember one day going, they hate each other now. What? Why do I have the bubbles from a love that no longer exists? Am I holding both of them back? Right? Like, is there something to, again, it's not a miracle. Like I could toss it. They didn't know I had it. They didn't know I got rid of it. But I kind of have those thoughts. And in that I thought about things in my own life where, like there's things I have that were gifts in previous relationships. Am I holding on to it? Should I let some of that go? But it's also like, yeah, no, Final Cut Pro 10 was one of those things. I'm not getting rid of that. I'm not getting that. It was a gift. But I have glasses and everything. And I had talked, again, turning it to my own life because I'm an egocentric maniac. But like in Vegas, I was really depressed in Vegas in September because I was like, I went to some of I remember when we were here. Oh, but now it's me. And so we can hold on to some things. So my advice to you is, I think, Steve, it's time to purge it all. Take it down to the local thrift store and Pagan Greg's pint glass 2017 wedding #love forever. Just let that be some prop in some other person's sketch.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was my next question is what is the end of that pint glass's life look like? Because I would just figure I'd donate it or whatever, but then I mean, again, if you're in a position where you need glassware, you don't really give a shit what it looks like. I get it. But I'm not, if I'm going to the thrift store, pint glasses, I just someone's wedding pint glass. I don't know how that emotionally gets reattached somewhere else. It's like, but I don't know. Like I also, this made me think I have to do some inner looking here. It's like, I will happily drink out of a doomed marriage's pint glass, but I won't drink out of a glass that says the Dallas Cowboys on it.
Right.
What does that say about me?
Right. That we're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because we're sports fans and we are going to get some sports here tonight. Laserbolt says, Laserbolt, this is fantastic. And I have some great responses. By the way, King Sportcast says, I knew it, Ken. You were depressed in Vegas. Nailed it. I said it in a video in Vegas. I love you, Kel. Laserbolt says, hey, I still drink from my GPA glass every night. I'll never throw it away. I don't want you to. I threw everything away that had GPA on it, which is weird because I'm still friendly with all of them, including Eric Bass from Shinedown. We just had some great conversations recently, and Mark Riley and I are close. Josh McCougan and I are close. But it was a weird, tense, trying year for all of us, not even related to each other, but just stuff going on in our life. There's some bad things that happen. And that company seemed cursed from day one, including the fact that we were sitting in our office building it and January 6th happened and we were watching it on the news and we're just like, what's happening to the world? So when that ended, anything that had the label on it, I burnt it in a fire. I tossed it. I got rid of it. But that's my journey because I needed to clear the mojo. I don't want Laserbolt to clear the mojo. Yeah,
that's totally understandable if it's something that's like a connection of your, if it's not, they're not my wedding, my doomed marriage.
Yes, but that's
my marriage is happy and healthy. Like I'm all good. You know what I mean? Like, but I can see where the difference. But like you said, Peg and Greg's pint glass is totally fine. It works and tastes. My beer tastes cold and fine from Peg and Greg's as it does this fine Star Wars pint glass. So to me, I'm like, well, I get rid of a perfectly good glass. But if you think I should bring it to the thrift store, I'll do it.
I think you should. Some great comments here. Sean McCabe checking in. Thank you for the super chat there. Ethan says, take some chemical to it and get rid of the writing. That's not a bad idea. Can you scrape off if you like the pint glass? Because I'm attached to individual pint glasses.
Yeah.
Maddie Gunner, a known rock star, says, leave them at random pubs you go to. That's a great idea. You could be like the pint angel.
Yeah.
Little pint angel.
Yes. Person at the local bar is gonna be like, wait, this is not why do I have an extra glass? This doesn't make any sense.
I only suggest the thrift store because there's got to be someone out there. And if it's you in the audience, please let us know. There's got to be someone out there who's like kind of a character, just kind of like a Christopher Guest character from Waiting for Guffman or something that like collects glasses and pint glasses from thrift stores that are of people's marriages or special achievements or something.
Yes.
There's got to be someone that has that.
If you're out there, please. Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I kind of want to be that guy.
Yeah, that might be a good lane. It's like it's the 21st century version of the spoon people. You gotta go everywhere and get a spoon.
Who's Cheryl and Pete? I don't know. It's just a little glass I picked up at the thrift store celebrating their love forever. It is weird, and you're right in line with that age, that 25 to 32. It's the first round of marriages for your buddies, right. And then you're going to go through the second rounds of marriages. I just went to a second marriage for a good friend, and they're always. And the great thing is, Steve, they're always smaller scale and shorter. They're not. Ain't nobody care. I'm just like, we signed the paper. You all come over for a barbecue. We're not doing this whole thing again. That's always fun. So how have you had to deal? I don't want to get into personal stuff, not with you, but I'm not going to share anything. But like, I've had some weddings I've attended that the marriages ended really fast to the point where I was like, can I ask for a refund for the gift I got them?
Okay. The closest thing to that is I think we had one. I'm not even kidding. I really do think there was like, I'm not sure. Okay. Just quick aside. I'm a super lazy gift giver, especially for like wedding gifts. So I am cut a check, have fun, kids. That's all anyone. All I remember is, never mind.
I'm a gift. If by the way, most of the time I don't get gifts anymore because I'm the gift. I showed up. Most of the time it's a gift card or money. Yeah,
no, I don't want even the gift card is like, it's kind of like, just give me a check or cash. You know what I mean? Yes. Cash is just write me a check. So that's what I typically do for those. And plus that was like one of the best, parts of getting married was, after the wedding night, you go, you count all the money. It's like graduation or something. Anyway, right. Very fortunate. But anyway, the whole thing of like getting a check is just like 100% how you want to go there. I mean, that's my advice. Forgot my train of thought there for a second.
Okay. That's all right. Plume's still upset that I Irish goodbye. Ken shows up, sure, but when he leaves,
I listened to that. I listened to your Irish goodbye stuff. I have some thoughts on your Irish goodbyes.
Yeah. You going to be angry at me like everyone else?
No, I'm not angry. It's more of just, I feel like I think it's funny that you aside or that you compare goodbyes and ego with like the idea of like, you think me saying goodbye when I leave a party is me thinking like I need to announce to everyone I'm leaving. Now I expect everyone to give me my flowers as I go out the door. Where it's more just like, no, dude, I came to your house and drank your beer, ate your pizza. I just wanted to say thank you so that, you knew I left and I wasn't like throwing up in your bathroom or like fell asleep in your guest room or,
but
you know what I mean? So
to misuse Addie's words, that's what you were supposed to do. That was the deal. You invited me. I showed up.
Okay. That's your prerogative, man. I just, but also the other thing is we're different in that, and listening to the Monday morning show, I was like, oh, Ken would really hate me if we spent time together. Cause I do enjoy a good holding of court. And
no, I was teasing Plume. I was teasing Plume because he makes everyone come to his hotel room for pizza parties. I've heard the stories. Oh, he loves to entertain because he's an entertaining guy. Yeah. I love to hold court too. I would be in Plume's room having a pizza party. I love sitting at a bar and just, I don't move much. If I'm at a bar party, you find me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm there.
You're the guy at the end of the table. Back is not to the door. You're just kind of, you have a visual of everything. Right.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yep. No, I'm with you. No, Steve, you wouldn't hate me as much as you think.
Okay.
If we hung up. Let's take some calls here. By the way, we got a lot of calls lined up. We're going to do some sports. We got some sports here to get to. Miami Dolphins made a trade. The Miami Dolphins fired the GM. Miami Dolphins suck. But I actually kind of hope they keep their coach, Steve. We'll talk about that. But we got some calls. There. Let's see. Let's get, by the way, I want to start this habit too, because I think you were doing it on Backstage, and I think it really works good. If you get in to the call queue. You can get to that private chat. And if you have something specific that you want to say related to the topics, I really love that idea. I love just also hearing from all of you and what you want to talk about, and you can kind of lead the show. But I'd love, hey, I'm calling in. I have some hot takes, and Ken, you're an absolute asshole for Irish Combined. Let's get you in here. Let's talk about that. Let's make it even more like a radio show. Cam Hatt's going to call and talk about the Super Bowl World Series. Let's get Evan on here. Major Problems. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ken, I was just typing my message of what I wanted to talk about, but I'm good. How are you?
I took a shot. Okay. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Nice. Let's dive right into the sports. Let's say goodbye to baseball season, and I guess begrudgingly congratulate the Dodgers on repeat World Series titles.
Begrudgingly. I'm with you. Look, by the way, everyone, now I'm happy. I asked for this, but everyone, now the private chat's blown up, and this is great. We just eventually will have a call screener. I'll hire a call screener. They'll get paid before Steve. So how do you feel? What's your thoughts on that Game 7?
Well, my heart goes out to I'm blanking on the pitcher that gave up the
Jeff Hoffman.
They gave up
Jeff
the home
Hoffman.
run at the end of the game. That was always my biggest fear in every sport I played through high school and college, being the GOAT at the end of the game, that, all your teammates are looking at you. So I just, I always want to see the quarterback who threw the game-ending interception, because they're going to pan to him, they're going to lock on him.
Right.
They're going to lock on the kicker who just missed the field goal.
Right.
It's like I kind of I don't know if it's like sadomasochism. I want to be in his shoes for just a second to feel like the whole world hates me for a second.
You want to feel the pain?
It's like I want to take it away from him,
Yeah. Okay. You want to carry the burden, share the load. Share the load.
Yeah. Take the ring for a second, Mr. Frodo.
I understand what you mean, because one of my early memories, again, I was not a sports fan initially. My dad did not watch sports other than the Olympics we watched, but he didn't watch baseball, football. He did have the 1985 World Series on, and that's the first time I remember kind of watching the sport of baseball, the Royals and Cardinals. But the next year, 86, the Mets, all that stuff. I remember watching Game 7, and after the series ends, I didn't really know even the history that I witnessed, all that kind of stuff. But they showed Marty Barrett in the Red Sox dugout in Shea Stadium, and he was crying. And it was one of the first, I was watching a grown man kind of cry. And I felt, and my mom was just like, I feel so bad. And it's sports. It's not world changing. It can be. People take it too seriously sometimes. I get that, but that stuck with me, Evan. I'm with you. I watched Game 7 of the World Series on the Comedy Store patio, which was, I will say, a top 5 memorable sports fan experience for me. It was crazy. Packed patio. The street got packed. There's some great photos the Comedy Store shared and posted that some of their house photographers took. And it was a communal experience. It was insane. But just the pain is real. I feel, and the clip, I'm a Don Mattingly, guys, the clip that went around of the series is over, the Dodgers are celebrating, and they're on some of the Blue Jay players, and Bo Bichette, Dante's kid, looks over, and he walks over, and there's Don Mattingly sitting there with tears in his eyes, kind of quietly staring. He's a coach now, but he's quietly staring out, and you got to think, I got that close. I almost got there. Oh, it broke my heart. Evan.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I did not like seeing Donnie Baseball upset, not one bit.
It hurt me, but it's the game.
It's like you said, it's sports. It's someone's got to lose, especially at that stage. You hate to see it, though.
You hate to see it. Laserbolt says, I never cry when my team loses, but when my Lions win the Super Bowl, I will be a sobbing wreck, as I was when the Yankees finally won. I stopped crying about the Dolphins years ago because it's just a pain I live with. It's just permanent. Thank you, Evan. Thank you.
Ken, I got one last thing before I go. The pint glass, Steve, is whether it's Peg or Greg, is there someone you're less fond of, or maybe you just didn't know prior to the marriage? Can that be the name that gets scraped off and just have it just be a memento for your friend?
I love this idea. We just cut out one side, and then maybe eventually when Greg gets remarried to Beth, we can just etch in Beth's name, and then we'll be all good.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
or-
remove laser engraving off of a glass. I'm not.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think you drop it in some acid, like Ethan was saying. I think you go
Acid?
super
you
villain.
get creative, or you can incorporate
need to
Greg,
be
and
around
like it could be
acid.
like exercising the
least.
demon as you can destroy that glass together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. No. Yeah. Hold on to it, Steve, until you're sure which way the wind blows on that.
Okay. Good advice. Thanks, Evan.
Thank you, Evan.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We're gonna get some sports stuff here. We got Glass talking sports, but we got Addy wants to add some more to the Irish goodbye conversation. Professor Addy, the smartest person in the room. There's also Brady, Michael McCarcel. There's lots. All right. Steve and I are the dummies. Welcome to the show.
It's not hard to be the smartest person in this room, Ken.
See, look, Steve, you gave her the idea. She took it. She put
Told
the
her.
stake into our heart.
I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Not wrong, indeed. All right, Addy. Irish goodbyes. Give me the update.
I am all for them. And you keep saying everybody was against you Saturday night. This isn't what we talked about.
You were with me.
Full support of the Irish goodbye.
Right. Yeah, Ken Plume led a revolt against me.
No.
He put on Braveheart paint and said, let's take this back for the Irish. That's not what the movie was about. All right.
The Irish goodbye is the proper goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Braveheart was Scottish.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just
French,
just now
the French leave.
now
Yeah.
putting that anyway.
Mhm.
It's possible it's because it's in my blood. Not because I am Irish, but because my grandmother, God rest her soul, one of the best family lore stories is that she basically Irish goodbyed a job.
Mm-hmm. Quite cool.
One day she went to lunch and never came back.
Beautiful. I think that's what Gen Z's doing now.
I also feel like I Irish goodbyed my last job. Like they knew I was leaving, but like I just walked out on the last day and never went back.
I like that. I just, for me, it's just, you gotta be okay with the goodbyes. And sometimes you just got to make it okay for other people too. That's the other wrinkle, Steve. That's the other wrinkle. I'm doing a favor to other people.
I feel like we're equating Irish goodbyes with just abandoning people, and this is starting.
No, that's the French leave. That's the French leave.
Okay.
I did look up the history of it. It's the term Irish goodbye and French leave is some people could David Mackay could get offended, but it's also completely done in, I don't want to say good taste, but it's still accepted to be used, I guess. All right.
We are not abandoning anyone, Steve. We are not making it about us.
Yeah. I'm making you accept loss.
It is time it is time for me to go home. I don't want to make a big deal out of that. And quite frankly, I am frequently the first person to leave a party, and I'm frequently the person who leaves the party obscenely early. I don't want the host to talk me into staying.
To talk you into staying? What does that mean?
Like if I'm ready to leave, I want to leave. I don't want them to pressure me into it's so early. You can't go yet. We haven't even done XYZ. Like, no, I'm done. Goodbye.
I understand it. Steve.
But I will give in to peer pressure. That's just who I am.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But it's yeah. If we're at BlatherCon and we have the Blather party, Steve's going to try to convince me to stay.
Well, I mean, no, what'll happen is you'll Irish goodbye and force me to be there to, hold court in your stead and hold down the fort is a kind of a thing. So you can use me as a cover to get off your Irish goodbye. Let's be honest. We know exactly how that's going down.
That's true.
Steve, you do 6-hour streams. That's already your job.
I know. But
not
that's
no more,
my
Billy.
own.
Not no.
That's my own. Yeah, that's a good point. But that's on me. But I think, listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong or bad or mean or you're doing anything wrong when you do an Irish goodbye. It's more that I think you have I think people who perform Irish goodbyes often don't realize how often us non-Irish goodbyers are like, where the fuck did Ken go? And so. you know,
I hear you.
especially as we get older, we can't be doing these things because we're all getting older. God knows how much cholesterol we're having. You're going to give someone a heart attack at one of these like old parties that we're all having when we're in our 60s and 70s because we're going to say, where did Ken go? We're going to think, oh shit, Ken fell down the stairs, or oh no, Ken is lost in a parking lot somewhere.
He's dead.
Like it's right. So
dead.
It's funny.
and
you
that
use
happened to me at a
example.
work event because we had a boss who was older
Okay.
and he just
Died?
wandered away for like 2 hours. We were at a baseball game. He just wandered away for 2 hours, and he was an older guy, a bigger guy. And there was a point where like after an hour and a half, and he's supposed to be around. He's not just like some guy who would just leave and you'd think, okay, like this
Sure.
guy's supposed to kind of have a presence at the work event, right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half in, we're like, there's a chance this dude fell down a stairwell and is dead somewhere. Like we need to go look for him. And he just Irish goodbye. That's all that happened. He's like, oh, he was at the hotel. He was going to bed. It's like, okay.
See,
okay.
Yeah. I think if anyone used to listen to the afternoons with Josh and Ken, like there was a famous story in our lore of the podcast at Josh and Amanda's wedding. David Griffin, some of you remember David from the Collider days, was gone. But the thing was, you couldn't leave. It was out in the country in Carmel. We all had to take buses there, and he was gone. So he couldn't Irish goodbye. We thought he died. We found him 2 hours later. He had just got stoned and wandered off into a corn meat field, and it was, or a wine. It was winery. So it literally was in the wine. He was just
in the wine.
He was like, I was stoned, and I just kind of didn't know where I was. And he could have been eaten by a bear or a puma. There was a lot of things out there. So I understand.
It's funny you use that example, Steve. I just had blood work today and my cholesterol's high.
Handle that. I think you eat donuts and you get it down. Carrots, maybe carrot cake. I think carrot cake is what gets the cholesterol down. That's what I heard with frosting. Ken got raptured. Says okay. So Tully says this: if I were the host and you Irish goodbye, I wonder if you wanted to come in the first place.
Well, that's the thing.
Wrong.
Most of the time, I didn't. Like,
that's the other thing. You guys, listen. Okay, this is don't take this the wrong way.
I'm gonna.
But as someone who's not an Irish goodbye person, I hear a lot of the pro Irish goodbyes like, oh, no one cares when I leave anyway, or like blah blah blah. Like everyone, you're always downplaying your importance at the party.
Yeah,
you know. Blah, blah, blah. Look, man. No one. This isn't high school. This isn't college. We're not doing seat fillers at parties anymore. At least I know I'm not, in my circle of friends, or as sure as hell not when I'm hosting a party. You know why? Because in this economy, those paper plates and that pizza and that beer you're drinking is fucking expensive. So I'm not inviting you to the party if I don't care who you are, or if I don't really care about your presence or anything like that. So there's like downplaying of like, hey guys, I'm just going to kind of be there, stand in the corner. Like, okay, fine. If you're introverted, that's cool. It's whatever. But just know if people are going out of their way to invite you to stuff, they genuinely want you to be there. So I'm not saying, you exit how you want, but I just don't want the reasoning behind your Irish goodbyes to be like, yeah, I'm kind of an accessory to this party anyway, blah, 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 blah. Just know that, especially nowadays, if you're getting invited to a party, someone wants you there.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I'm a value to your party. I am a valued member of it. So when I left the party Friday, as I said on the show, I was on the second level and no one knew where I was. And I just looked at everybody, and it's, like a scene from a movie. I was like, oh, there's so-and-so with their boyfriend. They're pecking each other on the cheek. That's so cute. They're in love. Oh, my friends they're engaged over there. They're having a good conversation. My work is done. Poof. And I just vanished into the night. That's what I did. I didn't think I wasn't valuable, Steve.
You're like the Gandalf of parties.
Yeah. My work here is done. And I raptured myself. All right. Addie, I'm glad you're on my side.
Blue ball by the rapture.
I am just here to defend you, Ken.
Thank you.
As we sit here talking about this, I realize I don't think I've ever actually Irish goodbye to party, but I like the idea of it.
Oh, you gotta have some of those goals.
It would help if I went to parties.
All right, well, let's get you some parties. That's our 2026 goal for Dr. Addie, everybody. Can we get her to some parties in the local Tampa area? We'll find some good ones that we can trust. We'll find. I love
that we're flying me to parties. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Addy, our resident professor of smart things science. Will be back on Thursday. All right. We got who else we got, Steve? We got God. I promised sports, and we're not even going to get to it. McCarsel's here. All right. So if you got calls, faster, more intense. Let's do this. Detective McCarsel, are you with me or against me on Irish goodbyes?
Oh, I'm fully with you on the Irish goodbye. It's
Trust on.
Don't get me wrong.
Trust in him.
My family makes me work for it. They are all
Mhm.
very big about. They all have to make a fucking scene whenever they leave the house.
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, leaving at Thanksgiving is insufferable with my dad's family. Cannot stand it. My mom's side of the family, it's only like 10 of us, very low key kind of thing. But my dad's side of the family, it's miserable. I've succeeded in sneaking out in my adult life
Yeah.
more times than not. But
This
if one of those motherfuckers catches me,
yeah.
it's going to take me 30 minutes to leave.
So this is probably the genesis of my love of Irish goodbyes. Other than when Mark Ellis does it, it just tickles me. I think it's really fun. But Steve, what Michael's talking about, there was one time I went to see Raiders of the Lost Ark at AMC Burbank. This was like 15 years ago with a big group of friends. Okay. Good group of nerds, and we had a good time. And we're all at the top. Now, you've never been to the AMC Burbank, Steve. I know this, but there's like 60 stairs that leads to the top. So we're on the top of the stairs outside, and we all say our goodbyes. And it's a long goodbye, Steve. It's like, oh, we should do lunch. I don't see you Thursday. I want to go home. I love them all, but I want to go home. So I start to leave, and I walk down the 60 stairs. And I get to the bottom, and I kind of turn around, and they're all still up there. And we had, by the way, we had said goodbye in the theater lobby.
Right.
And then walked 13 feet, and we're doing it up here. And I literally look at it, and someone looks down, and I go, we already said goodbye. And I turned around and walked away. And I got in my car, and I walked away. I was not invited to a lot more events after that.
It's a curb scene.
Yeah.
It's exactly what that is.
Anyways, Michael, I appreciate you're touching on a part of it there as well. If I'm just being honest, it's just the long goodbye.
For sure.
The long goodbye.
For sure. Now, my fiance's uncle, one of her uncles, he's a master of the Irish goodbye, and I have the utmost respect for him for it. It is incredible. He even, admittedly, kind of shitty, but he Irish goodbyed for her white coat ceremony for medical school a couple weeks ago. He was so slick about it because we were all dispersing to go to the restaurant. He just never showed up at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Well, yeah. See, I always want to make sure that's the thing is, and by the way, I also want to be clear, and I'm having fun with this bit. I don't always, actually 60% of the time, I do not Irish goodbye. I'm actually having fun and we're in it.
Don't kill the magic, Ken. I want the idea that you secretly live this half-life as the shittiest Batman in the world, where the only skill you have is that you can just turn around. That's it. That's the only skill you have is you can just get out.
I can't hold a candle to Mark Ellis. No one could hold the candle to Mark Ellis, because what Mark always does, because he's so generous, and he'd hate for me to admit this, but he doesn't watch my shows. He'll be gone, and you won't find out until you ask the waiter for the check, and the entire table of 13 people at dinner do not have to pay because Mark has already cleared. He's paid it and he's left, and that's when you find out.
It's a move.
Yeah, it's
real power move for sure.
It's next level.
Amazing.
Anyways, Michael, I appreciate you backing me here a little bit. All right.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. Detective McCarsel, checking in, checking out. All right. Jared's got glass talk, sports talk. That will transition because we got Cam. He wants to talk about his Blue Jays. Brady probably wants to brag about his team, who was, I think, one Will Smith toenail away from losing in the World Series. Jared, the Tide Pilot, how you doing?
Not too bad. How we doing tonight, gents?
We're good, man. You got thoughts on the glass here? Should Steve take them to a thrift store, throw them in the Potomac? What do you think?
I mean, definitely donate them to a rage room, because why not? But
that's a good idea.
But my little addition to this is, it was funny enough that we bring up random glasses, because Mother was going through all her decorative china box thing, whatnot, clearing out some stuff, making room. She still has the glass that we got at my prom in 2004.
That's good, though.
Hell yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's a keepsake, and you're still here. It's not reliant on another person or a love affair, you know? Unless the love affair is yourself. So,
I mean, that's fair. But I just looked at it, I'm like, why?
Good. That's good. A little bit hoarding.
I mean, on that note, Jared, I learned when I was like 30 that my dad still had one of those little like kiln-fired pottery things that we made in elementary school, and that he used it as like his little like pot ashtray.
Oh, my mom still got a snowman I made for her.
But is it a pot ashtray?
No, it could be shaped like it. Then that is not. Mama Thai Pilot doesn't do that.
Laserbolt says, "Mama Thai Pilot, the gift the glasses to their divorce lawyer." I think that's it. I bet there's divorce lawyers that collect things like that too. We got to find these folks. All right, Jared, you also want to talk a little baseball as we transition into sports talk, sports, the Blathering Sports Desk, because Game 7 of the World Series was epic. The entire series, I do think, was epic. But you, as a Red Sox fan, where do you go with that?
Well, I don't actually have World Series thoughts because, again, I hope both teams lost. And
it says, wait, hold on. It
just says sports.
It's a sports question. All right, all right. Hit me.
Yeah. So, for you and Steve, it's a fun one. Okay. So, what was the strangest looking player to have all of a sudden a different jersey that they shouldn't have? Example, mine would be Ray Bork of the Bruins. Man.
Was definitely thinking of him.
No. But he played for the Bruins for years and years. His last season, he went to the Colorado Avalanche to win a Stanley Cup. And I had to watch him in an Avalanche jersey. Or Matt Damon all of a sudden having a Yankees jersey on. Just doesn't feel right.
Matt Damon played with the Yankees. Holy shit.
Don't.
You're talking about
Johnny Damon.
You're talking about Johnny Damon.
I was gardening before the show started. And,
Sure. Well, let's not forget that Johnny Damon wears a different uniform now. It's a red hat, and it says some things about making America.
I mean, we all saw that one coming.
Yeah. It's a good bet with sports players. This is fantastic, Steve, because this is there's two ways to approach this, and I see where Jared went with it. It is not oh my God, did you know that Manny Ramirez finished his career with Tampa Bay, which I don't know if but he played with the Rays for a little bit. So-and-so comes over and gets Joe Namath played with the Rams and petered out, right? This is more Tom Brady goes to the Bucks and wins. Ray Bork goes to the Avalanche and wins. That's a little different kind of question for me.
Yeah. Joe Montana went to the Chiefs and got to an AFC championship game, I think. Jordan on the Wizards was like a weird fever dream, even though they weren't good, but they did lead the league in attendance, road attendance that year, because everyone wanted to go see Jordan, which was just a phenomenon. Ray Allen won an NBA Finals on the Miami Heat after playing with the Celtics for his entire career, and he hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history in a Heat uniform, even though he's historically, they remember him more in Boston and Seattle than as a member of Miami. But he showed up as an old man and hit one of the biggest shots ever. So those are the ones that I come to first.
Yeah, I mean, I go to Brady with the Bucks. I was just thinking about the other day is like that reversed the trend in a big way. Ray, I don't know. I know who Ray Bork is, but like I don't know if he was as productive as a player. I don't know to what degree he was on the Colorado Avalanche. You know what I mean, Jared? Was he still starting? Was he a six man? What was his role with the team then?
No, he was still I think he was a second liner, but he was more there for the two reasons of they were the projected team to win the cup, and was one of those at the beginning of this year, it's like if the Dodgers don't win the series, everybody's going to laugh at them regardless. But so that was like the Avalanche that year. Like they just had everything going for them. And Bork was about to retire, but had not, because Bruins
didn't win it.
Yeah. And so it's like, there he goes.
I think for me, I go to Dave Winfield winning with the Blue Jays, which was great. And Mr. November, Mr. May finally got a hit in October, a big hit. He had a big hit down the line, double down the line. He's a Yankee fan who's both weird and wonderful. I think I go to that. Again, I mentioned the Brady to Buck thing because like it was like I'm convinced he could probably still come back and lead the Dolphins to the playoffs. Like he's a freak.
Yes,
He's a freak.
He absolutely could. Yeah,
It was different than the narrative that has been out there before. It's not like Babe Ruth with the Boston Braves for 12 games before he finally stumbled out of the game. It was functional. Mandalorian Jedi says Mark Grace in a Diamondbacks uniform. Yeah, you forget that. That's where he won.
Brady brought up a good one earlier in chat that was hilarious to see, which was Shaquille O'Neal in Celtics green.
That's right.
Yeah, Shaq had a cup of coffee with just about everybody in the league before the end there.
That's true. That's true.
Kevin Durant is the other big one in basketball, having that was the biggest example, I think. It was just kind of close, but the whole like if you can't beat them, join them example. I think that phrase, Kevin Durant's picture will be next to that phrase in whatever version of a futuristic dictionary there is.
I got highlighted Ranger Donald's comment of Randy Moss joining the Patriots. It was a little bit of like
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one of just like, all right, ne'er-do-well, who's also a Hall of Famer, come play with the thing. Super Bowl winners, you know?
But we also, just low-key, though, a lot of people thought Randy Moss was washed at that point by the time when he went to the Patriots.
Right,
He had already had his stint with the Raiders and stuff like that. Like, some stuff had gone downhill a little bit. So it was like, people were like, Randy Moss, well, if anyone's going to fix him, it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And then what do you know?
True.
Brady throws 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Great question. There's a lot more answers that'll come to me. Because again, it's different. Because when you were starting to ask it, I was like, oh, I love this question. I love, Noma with the Oakland A's or Piazza with the Padres for a couple of A's too. It's like, I love that kind of stuff. But it's when it's impactful still, or they get the title. The Bork thing is a great example of like, hey, will you take him? Yeah, okay, good. Grandpa Ray needs a title. Like but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I wish someone had done that.
The Steelers have a good defense. Who knows?
Yeah, I wish the Yankees had been signed Don Mattingly on August 31st, 1996. Just go pinch hit. We'll put a back brace on you, and we'll go win the World Series with you. Would have been good.
Is Don supposed to keep coaching next year?
I hope so. I hope the Blue Jays get back and be actively rooting against my Yankees to get the Blue Jays back to win. All right. Thank you, Jared. All
right. Stay safe, guys.
All right. I think we're going to try 2 calls here in the time we got left here. But, Steve, I want to get your thoughts on Game 7 of the World Series, but I think I can get Brady and Cam Hess. We'll have a Dodger fan and a Blue Jay fan on the call together. But your thoughts. Look, as sports fans, this is the stuff we live for, whether you're rooting for the teams actively or you have a big stake in the game. As sports fans, we like great games. No one likes a 55-3 Super Bowl. We want them to be close. We want this kind of thing. And this was absolutely, I think, the greatest World Series ever was 1991, Minnesota Twins versus the Atlanta Braves. This might be up there. And this Game 7 was epic to watch.
This is the best World Series of my lifetime. This is the best World Series I've watched. I think the best part of it is I think we might have seen two of the best 5 baseball games of the last 35 years in the last week, between the 18-inning World Series game and the incredible Game 7 that we had. Those are 2 of not just the best World Series games, but those are 2 of the best just baseball games I have watched in my life, and I'm 35 years old. So it's incredible, and it's exactly what baseball needed. I saw that the rating for Game 7 of the World Series was like 10 million people more than the recent NBA Finals. A million different reasons for that, but it's not a dig on the NBA. It's more of just that's a big surprise for baseball, because baseball popularity wise has been lagging. But I think between the different rule changes and all the young stars and everything, baseball's having a moment.
I think you got a lot of marketable young stars, and none more than, of course, Shohei Ohtani, who is next level. We witnessed absolute history with him just at the last few seasons, but performing in the series. And I think that's a contribution to the worldwide popularity of this game, without a doubt. I'm not a genius for suggesting that. But it was just fun. And I had the experience, like I said, I was watching the Comedy Store patio. We didn't go there. Mark had a set, and he was kind of meeting someone there, and he's like, hey, why don't you just come with me, and we can chat with this guy and hang out and have a good time. So it was so that no one was in the Comedy Store on a Saturday night is packed. 10 people were watching the show, and everyone was out on the patio. They have a TV, drinking, and It was so fun, man. Every out, and then again, it isn't just Game 7. And then it goes the way it goes, the blown saves and this and that, and Cam's going to come on and he's going to cry over the pain. And I remember I didn't predict anything, but with one out and Miguel Rojas is up, I literally said, I was like, these are the kind of guys that do it. The World Series isn't won in the final moments often by Shohei Ohtani. Joe Carter, great example in 1983 of a superstar that did it. It happens because they're talented superstars, but it's these guys. It's Tom Lawless who has one career home run hitting a bomb in 87 with the Cardinals to win a game. Those are the guys that Rojas did it, and it just was crazy to watch, a crazy experience. And I'll say this. I do think Isaiah Kiner Falefa was out. I think. There's a great shot of it that he's out by distance. I want the shot. It's kind of the shot I'm talking about. There's an over the head shot of home plate. Will Smith will never beat them. But if you get the other angle, I don't know if Will Smith's foot is on the base at home plate. I don't know.
And I'm convinced. I'm sorry, Ken. I'm convinced there is an angle or a shot of that somewhere that the MLB just like immediately burned and was like, no, we can't let it out. Like, it's just the moment was too good. Everything was perfect. Everything was fine. Let's just that game had everything. Man, it was Game 7. Everything. It had extra innings. It had drama. It had a fight. It had questionable calls. Like it had literally that was baseball's perfect scenario. So there was absolutely there's 100% a Zapruder film out there of like the angle of exactly what you're talking about. But Selig or whoever was just like, no, just burn it, get rid of it. Not Selig, whoever. Yeah, I know.
Manfred.
Manfred. Yeah.
I'm still like Faye Vincent. But I want to say, I'm not suggesting that to say there was a ref or an umpire on the take or it's a split second decision. And this is why I like replays. But I fight against the idea of completely automating the officiating process in Major League Baseball because of this. And it's painful to say to Cam Hass and any Blue Jay fan. I get it. But I wouldn't change that. It's too good.
I'm not sure how you would automate it other than cameras. Like I don't know what you would do. I don't know if how you're putting sensors into the gloves and the bags and you know what I mean? Like I think we have to accept
just home plate.
Right, yeah.
Your foot's on it.
I've got a million ideas for how we can make baseball look more fun visually. Don't get me wrong. If we ever need to pull that bag, we can. But I think part of why and I think this is why a lot of people who don't like sports or aren't into sports or aren't interested don't understand is that the imperfection is part of why we love it and why we're able to have this emotional attachment to it because it's hard to have an emotional attachment to numbers that are predictable, that are solvable, that are so reliable, always know what's going to happen. Spoiler alert, in the movies, you guys, the good guys are going to win. Maybe not in the first movie, the second movie, but in the third movie, the good guys are going to win. And because there's formulas, it's at the end of the day, it's this, that, and the other thing. You're telling a story. In sports, there is that element of you could. I'm not going to take shots at a team, but you could be a team from a Midwestern hardworking town that has never won anything in the history of ever, but you have the greatest fans ever, right? From somewhere along the Great Lakes. So but they still love their team, even though they've never, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
That comes all the way down to the refs. It comes all the way down to get out of here. You're the only undefeated team in the history of the sport. You don't know the pain that these people understand.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It comes all the way down to the refs. The imperfection of it is just part of the allure, so yes, I'm totally with you. We can't automate and robot everything because then that makes the game almost solvable in a sense. Like it takes the human element out of it.
Yeah, I have no problem with it in football and where it got to. And I remember when it showed up, I'm old enough, Kitty, to remember when first instant replay. And it was weird and it felt weird. But I think it's generally been a great thing. And I think in baseball, some of the stuff they have and the challenges, like I am okay with that. Like Armando Galarraga threw a perfect game. Give it to him. I do not care. I do not care anymore. It's so.
He has a Corvette to prove it.
He has a Corvette to prove it. Give it to him. Jim Joyce made a mistake. So I get it. But like on a smaller level, like the strike zone thing. And I know people who played pro ball who would argue with me. the strike zone thing drives me crazy. I've told the story that other people told me about some famous umpires and some of their stuff, but like you got to swing, man. And if the pitch is close, that's part of the game to me. If it's 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth and the pitch comes in and you don't swing and it's a strike, that's on you. If you don't swing and it's a ball, that's a take of steel. Like it's part of the subplots that I love. And the umpire's got to be perfect too. And and for every Eric Gregg calling Levon Hernandez's, 4 pitches wide throws, 4 feet wide throw strikes, you have umpires nailing it more often than not. Anyways, that's my thought. There you go. We will not have Detroit. Who Detroit? It was some Detroit slander, not from us. Oh, in the chat.
Roll the tape, man.
Lauren Romo.
I never once said a city's name. I said hardworking Midwestern towns around the Great Lakes. Take that as you will.
Mostly he's talking about Buffalo, those goddamn Bills. But also, I like this. Romo has been pretty quiet around these parts for a long time, only to show up all caps for Detroit slander. I respect it. Game recognizes game. Let's go ahead and bring in a winner. Brady. How you doing, Brady?
Hello.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring in a loser. Cam Ass.
That's not nice.
How you doing?
Mean.
How you doing?
Didn't lose anything.
I haven't even. I was gonna come on. You'd be like, I miss coming on with you guys. I've been busy watching someone's baseball, and I call a loser right out of the gate. Way to kick a man when he's down, Ken. Come on here.
Look. It's painful. I'll start with you, Cam. How are you doing? Walk me through it. As I did with Steve up top, take me to that moment of pain. And there's several to choose from.
I'm gonna give it to you really. As quick as I can here, Ken, because I know we're running late. So I went out for Halloween the night before, and then I woke up hungover. But I knew I was gonna be driving to Toronto. I was gonna go watch in Nathan Phillips Square, where they play the game for 7,000 standing fans. People are sitting on the Toronto sign. They got a DJ, all this stuff. And a Blue Jay landed on my mother's windowsill the morning on Sunday. No joke here. I'm like, it's team of destiny. This is happening. We get down there nice and early, walk to a Canadian Tire, get some lawn chairs, and we stake out hours before the game.
Love it.
And we watch. And there's the Bichette home run. So we're losing our mind. And I'm talking to a fan behind me he's like, I was standing right here in 93 and 92. And he's like, I want this moment for you guys, in 32 years when they're back, you'll be my age and you'll be talking to the 20-year-olds, all that. And then, series of unfortunate events and the worst train ride home of my life. It just, I don't want to get too much into it without Brady being able to talk here, but
we'll get to that. I want you to walk me through some of the pain. I was because of Don Mattingly, I had during Game 7 was like, I'm rooting for baseball, but I want the Blue Jays to win. And behind me, there's 200 people squeezed into the Comedy Store patio and on the sidewalk, and right behind me was a sweet lady with a Toronto Blue Jay hat. Oh. And I turned around and look, and like this is after the Rojas homer, and I turn around and look at her and I go, I'm a big Don Mattingly fan. I've got your back. And she's like, Thank you. And then when the win happens, like Mark Ellis and I kind of like protected her. We're like, so sorry. We're so sorry. Anyways, Brady, though, on the other side of the coin here, we got absolute joy.
I will say 95% of that game, I thought we were going to lose.
Yeah,
me too.
Not wrong.
That doesn't make him feel any better, Brady.
For 95% of the game, I thought we were going to lose, except for the 5% in which we won. Suck it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cam.
I appreciate it, man. No, listen.
Jays are a fantastic organization.
They are.
Vladdy Jr.
World Series in how long, man? Like that's insane.
So Brady's a press conference over here.
Yeah, Brady, where were you? Take me through it as a Dodger fan. How did you take in this 95% we're going to lose game?
I was at home because I could not be in a public space because it's Game 7. We have we've never won a Game 7. I don't think. Never scored more than 2 runs. So I was at home, and then the homer happened, and I was like,
the Rojas homer.
No. The Bo Bichette homer.
Oh, Dante's kid. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, he was, oh yeah. So that happens. I turn the TV off, and I just follow the play-by-play because I cannot watch it. And then I think you sent me a ping in the Discord. It's like, how are you doing? I was like, damn it.
Oh yeah, I did, because I was at least 2 drinks in at the Comedy Store, and I was like, "Where's that Brady kid? Where's he around here? Let me get into Discord and send a message to him." Yes. Sorry about that. I apologize. I wouldn't have done that sober. I wouldn't have done that sober, Brady.
It's sports, you know.
I'm not in the second quarter of the Super Bowl if the Eagles are playing. I'm not gonna be like, "What's up, Steve?" Like, I'm gonna let him have it. Let him have it. Okay. So then, when did you? The two questions for both of you here. And Steve, if you got anything, jump into. So I'm gonna ask this, and then I want you all to answer. I'll start with you, Brady. When did you feel they're gonna win? And then I'm gonna ask Cam. When did you feel, oh, shit, we're going to lose? So, Brady, when did you feel we're going to
win? When Freddie Freeman caught the last out.
So, not until then. So, because sports to me is spiritual. It is spiritual. And that's why I turned to Mark and this, our friend Justin, and said, you got to, Miguel Rojas's are the ones that do this. I had that feeling. But I'm not invested as much. So, you were so nervous, it wasn't until Freddie Freeman caught the ball. He was the final out. That's great.
It was close. It was literally an inch from being a walk off.
The double play.
In the ninth inning. Yeah, it was an inch.
Yeah. No, okay. But even after that,
oh my god.
But so when they get the out, and I'm not saying this is conspiracy theory. Will's foot goes up and down, and it's so close. You didn't feel like, the gods are with us?
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Right after the next inning, what does Vladdy do? He gets a double or a triple. He gets on third base.
Yeah. Bunted over. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Cam, this is going to be painful, but I need you to be honest, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan, okay? I'm a Yankee fan. And there's been times I wish I had witnesses. Jim Leyritz, 1996 World Series, improbable home run off Mark Wohlers. I called it. I literally was like, Leyritz, don't worry, Leyritz, and like an inning before. You just, as a sports fan, you get this. Steve, you know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, we got this in the third. Jalen's going to hit AJ Brown, and I just know it. And you envision it.
It was the Devontae Smith catch. You asked me earlier, Brady was like, oh, so when did you know it was over, Brady? And for me, I was just thinking to myself, when Cooper DeJean picked off Mahomes right before the half. Oh, no, we're still talking about the World Series. Sorry. But yeah, no, it was definitely, when Devontae Smith catches a ball, and even the announcer guy is like, oh, they're just going to run the clock out or just go for the dagger. That's when I looked at my wife and was like, I can cry now, right? Like I'm allowed to be happy now.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Cam.
Yeah.
When was this moment?
That I knew we were going to lose?
Yeah, when did you have that pit in your stomach feeling?
Well, first, was there a moment where you thought you were going to win, and then did your heart get ripped out and then go to lose?
Even worse.
When we won the 2 games following the 18-inning game, I felt like, man, that could have been a demoralizing moment. I thought that was the swing of the series, and obviously we only had to win one of game 6 or 7. But in game 7, it was when Rojas tied it up.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt now we have Ohtani and the whole top of the order is coming up now. But this team came back 49 times all year. I knew it was a coin flip at that during the game. I did think we were going to win going into the 9th just because it was 3 outs. They needed 3 outs. 3 outs from the bottom of the order. The bottom of the order didn't really do anything for the Dodgers pretty much the entire series. The Ernie, I keep going back to there's so many moments like that. Being with people outside, like the Ernie Clement ball that Pages somehow caught was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was outside in Nathan Phillips Square, and when the replay came up, the IKF running home, the crowd went nuts. This one, you couldn't hear the broadcast. It was everyone thought this is gonna get this could get overturned, and it happened pretty quick. I thought they were gonna take longer with it. I'm not saying any. I'm not one of those collusion or anything. I was just there was that moment of, oh my god, we got this, and then it's like, oh. But yeah, when Rojas hit the home run, I felt like now we're leaving this up to a coin flip. But I had faith in them the whole way through. How could I not? They had You know,
Yeah, it's not about a lack of faith in your team. It's just sports fans have experienced this so much, and it's insane. But I do really think it was up. In fact, and for every time I've kind of predicted some things, and it's happened a lot as a sports fan. I've had a lot of these moments. I drunkenly turned to Mark Ellis and said, when the Dodgers. It's bottom of the 11th or 12th. I said, we're going 12. And he's like, really? I go, yeah, this game's not done. And Will Smith, like, homered, like, right after that. So I'm not always right. Yeah, and Tully's bringing up Cleveland versus Florida in 1997. Crushing loss to the Marlins. Oh, my gosh. And yeah, if you watch the ending of that one, the Council scores on that. Edgar Renteria hits it in the middle. Charles Nagy is like an inch away from catching that line drive back through the box and ending the World Series. It's passing. All right. Rounding the corner on this conversation, Cam, as a Blue Jay fan, how do you pick up the pieces? And what do you think about your chances next year?
Baseball's so random. I mean, as much as, the Dodgers have created themselves a dynasty here. I mean, this was so improbable for all the way through, it's so hard because you just feel like, when do you get these type of teams don't come around. This is like a team worth making a documentary over, this and
there will.
I hope so. I think you bring everyone back. You hope to add. I mean, Blue Jays, as much as people were making the David versus Goliath comparisons, they spend their money too. Just they spend their money. I think they can. I hope that this has maybe brought some eyes to around the league. For players seeing what they can have if they bring a winning team to Toronto. And I'm so proud of that whole team, man. I just think you bring them back. Vladdy, he's a wagon. And you do what you can. I'm at a loss for words a little bit, even a couple days after that.
Oh, sure.
Our train ride home on the Via Rail in Ontario, someone's pressed the emergency stop 3 times. And we had to sit there for 20 minutes. And there's people who were in the stadium, people who were watching outside like me, and it was just depression all around. And it was
that's horrible. That's horrible.
He'll be back. I hope I don't have to wait 32 years.
Look, I think you need maybe one frontline pitcher, Max Scherzer. I don't know if he comes back or not, if he retires or whatever. We'll see. But even then, he'll be a year older. And you're such a scrappy team, but you're right, it is a deep team. But I think you need one more big bopper, and you'll be back. I think you'll be back.
Yeah, Bo's contract's up at the end of the year. They got to bring him back. I think he's shown that he wants to come back. You got to add a pitcher. I think Yasevich, man. I think he's got it. So there you go. Things to look forward to. But
there you go. I appreciate it, Cam. Brady. Brady. 3-peat. What are we thinking?
Yeah. I just want to pick up on the Blue Jays conversation. This World Series was definitely Goliath versus Goliath.
Yeah.
And I think the Blue Jays have a fantastic future. This is, if anything, this is probably the Blue Jays version of 2017 for the Dodgers when we lost that World Series all those years ago.
Right.
There's some nefarious reasons otherwise, but yes, it is not over. Vladdy, he's the same age as me. He's a young dude. He's locked up for 10 years. Just maybe get rid of Cheater Springer. Yeah, he was a master of his team. Sorry. He was fantastic that series.
Fair enough. He's great. He's great. Even without a trash can banging in the background, he's great.
And Trey Savage, he's younger than me.
Trey Savage, you got pick up the.
I got a good team. But speaking of 3-peat, you know what? I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to enjoy what is probably going to be the greatest period in Dodger fandom in my lifetime. Just gonna enjoy it.
Is going back to even appearing in the series, the ones they lost, winning in 2020, now winning here. I mean, that's part of this. It's a different roster, but it's a dynasty. I think to me, you can start having that conversation. They are the team of the 2020s, and we still got 5 years to go. So, and look, I'll say this. Final thoughts here from me, Steve, get your thoughts here too. A lot of talk, and we've even talked about it here. Dodgers repeating. Do you start questioning baseball and the structure of salaries and everything? I think there's some great conversations that maybe need to be had. I don't think the Dodgers have cheated. They're playing within the system. Deferred contracts are not new. They just got someone who was like, yeah, I'm already rich. I'll defer all that. I don't care. And we'll see where that goes. But the Blue Jays proved you can compete, and they do. win. But I did see something that struck a chord with me today of like, look, the Blue Jays offered Ohtani the same amount of money. Yamamoto was offered the same amount of money, I think, from the Yankees. Yankees officials were actually gunning for him for a while. A lot of these players were offered things. The Dodgers have a great winning culture right now. And when it comes to these are all Titans because there's truly small market teams. And I do think you have to maybe address that. But when it comes to the big teams, it isn't just the Dodgers putting money on the table, but they also have a better environment to play in, I think, than a lot of the other teams. I don't know if you want to go to New York right now. I don't know if you want to go to Boston. Maybe you go to Toronto now, but I think you definitely want to go to LA. So I think that's part of it.
Ken, sorry to jump in here. The one thing I did want to say, not far be it for me to go to bat for the Dodgers, but like you can make an argument that the owners who refuse to pay their players and trade them when their service time is hitting 6 years, you can make an argument they are ruining baseball far more from not wanting to pay their players and put a competitive team on the field. So I think that argument as well.
I've been on that again. There are always bigger issues, and I do think, I'm a big Montreal Expos fan, and the story, and there's a Netflix doc that you can all watch right now. There are small market teams that need maybe help, but for the longest time, the richest man in baseball was the owner of the Minnesota Twins in the 90s, and he watched almost with glee as he let that team collapse because he didn't want to invest back into it. And I think until you change the system, that's where it's go. Look what's going on with the Pirates right now. Smaller market for sure. That is definitely a thing, but for right now, the system, the Dodgers are playing within it.
And I will say, I think that if they do like salary cap and a floor, I think the Dodgers are still going to be good, maybe even better.
Could be. Could be. All right, boys. Thank you for calling in and celebrating and commiserating.
Thanks, guys. I'm happy to be around for some more live blatherings now.
Good to have you here.
Time freed up. Thanks, guys.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Brady.
Are you going to the new empire?
Are you going to the parade?
I went there today.
Oh, was it today?
It was today, this morning.
Okay. Good for them. Good for them. All right. Thank you, Brady.
Thank you.
All right. Final question. I got a super chat, Steve, and then we're out of here. Malcolm, thank you for the generous super chat. Hey, Ken, hope you're all right. In the spirit of baseball, answer me this. Are Moneyball and Field of Dreams baseball movies? I say they are. Baseball is intrinsic and thematically essential to the plot. I do consider, I've talked about this before a little bit. I do consider both of them baseball movies, and baseball is key to them. I just think sometimes I've seen people who throw Field of Dreams isn't a baseball movie, blah, blah, and they oddly use it against what is a spectacular film that is not just simply a baseball movie. I think Moneyball is more of a baseball movie than Field of Dreams. But when someone's like, it's my favorite baseball movie, I don't yell at them, Steve, and say, technically, Field of Dreams is a story about dreams, fatherhood. Look, no, it's baseball's key. And you can learn so much through sports, and that's an example of it for me.
Yeah, no, get the hell out of here with the people who say Field of Dreams isn't a baseball movie. That's ridiculous. Moneyball is a baseball movie too. But here's my Moneyball is a Brad Pitt movie, and this is one of my. You can ask me about this some other time. But my theory is any movie with Brad Pitt is not any. It's not Troy isn't a Swords and Sandals movie. Oceans isn't a heist movie. Any movie with Brad Pitt is a Brad Pitt movie.
Is it like a Tom Cruise movie too? It's not a spy picture. It's
yes,
a Tom Cruise
that's
picture.
there. I have a list of that is the list.
That.
It's like Bruce, Pitt, Cruise, those kind of guys. It's
yeah. I agree with that.
Yes,
I agree with that. I'll tell you what, we had a fun episode. Everyone's still not sure of my stance on Irish goodbyes, and I'm okay with that. But also good sports. We'll get to more NFL. Congratulations on the new edge rusher in Philadelphia for the Miami Dolphins. It'll be a good backup for you. Thank you for the 3rd round pick. I like that. And
you can have it. It's the Jets anyway, so go for it. Or no, it's ours. We get to keep the Jets. Howie has more picks than he knows what to do with, so it's fine.
We'll trade you 2 more players. We got a lot.
Please, I'll take your coach, but
as your coordinator. We'll be back Thursday. Some science, some GOT, trying to get a guest lined up for a cool thing about. Much more on the way. Thanks for supporting. And hey, remember, top of the show, our buddy Tully might need a little bit of help because the government is kind of messing things up right now. So he's going to drop something in the Discord there. Oh, also, I'll talk more Thursday. Going to do a Young Guns 2 watch along for Patreon supporters. That's coming in mid-November. I have the file. Thank you to Mr. Ken Plume. That's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.